you go, my brother. Hop
Come
on.
on.
Yes, yes indeed. There you
Yeah,
go.
what up, Tariq?
What's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Yeah, I'm good. I got a question for you, right?
Yes.
What is this about this diaspora war you're going about up back and forth with Africans? What's your problem with Africans, bro?
Y'all called me, all right? Yes, y'all called me, and when you call up lying, like that gentleman did, well, you're going to get some straightening. When you call up lying, you're just going to get some good old-fashioned straightening, and which is what he got. Y'all can't come around us lying and scamming all the damn time. You understand? By the way, Lloyd, what's are you in America or are you in the UK?
I'm in America, bro.
There you go. Now, why do so many people from and you're from Nigeria too, right?
Yeah, 100%, bro.
There you go. Why do y'all think y'all can bring that same lying and scamming among us and we ain't supposed to say nothing? What's that about?
I, um, we don't do that. I got a question. I got a question for you.
You
Have you
do.
ever?
You kind of do. You do, but go
Wait,
ahead.
hold on. Have you ever been to Africa at
I
all?
have. I
Have you
have
ever?
several places.
Okay. Have you ever asked any African country that you want to stay in Africa at one point in your life?
Did I ask them what now?
Did you ever ask any of the African countries that you want to stay in Africa at some point in your life? Did you ever ask that you want some land? Did
When
you
I
ever?
was in Zimbabwe and South Africa, I was talking to the people about, hey, why don't y'all get some dual citizenship so we can kind of click up and kind of build something? And
So
nobody was really biting on that.
what changed, bro?
What do you mean what changed? What changes y'all? Y'all ain't trying to build nothing. Y'all changed. Y'all ain't trying to do shit. Y'all trying to get the hell up out of there. Y'all changed. Not only are you getting the hell up out of there, y'all coming over here to undermine us. Y'all changed. And then
Bro,
y'all get into our affairs
bro,
and then
no,
you
nobody,
undermine
nobody
us.
was trying to undermine you people.
Yeah, y'all do,
You
sir.
listen.
Y'all do, sir. You're
Hold
not
up.
gonna no. You're not gonna ask me a question and then deny the answer.
Mhm.
Why do you think so many people are delineating right now? Why do you think there's a major delineation movement right now?
I feel like a small group of people want to delineate. A lot of people wants to be African American. That's the point.
No, because African American people are getting away from that term and it's too generic.
Everybody knows that African American built America. Everybody knows that.
Okay, and you're talking about the foundational black Americans who did that.
That was the foundation American thing started few months ago, a few
No,
years
no,
ago,
no, 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 no. We've
2 3
always
years
been
ago.
found.
That's what you're
We've
talking about.
always been. No, this is what I'm talking
Nah,
about.
bro.
No, no,
African
no,
Americans
no,
built
no,
America.
no, no, no. Because African American,
Don't take that away from them.
that was something introduced in the '80s, sir.
Who? Listen,
We weren't calling ourselves African,
Terry, let me
sir,
ask you a
sir,
question.
sir. We were not calling ourselves African American when we're building this country.
Hold on,
We were
hold on,
not.
hold on. Let me ask you a question, right?
All right, no,
The,
but you can't
the,
just no. Slow down, dude. Because you keep getting debunked and you're just dancing all over the place. Foundational black Americans built this country. You're an African American. You didn't build this country.
African Americans were the one enslaved in America, right?
Foundational black Americans were enslaved
Where are they from?
all over here and some parts of Africa, but they're foundational. They had an ethnogenesis, sir.
Bro, there was no black American in America. Everybody was taken from Africa. Everybody was
No, they
stolen from
weren't.
Africa.
That's not true. What
There
you're
was
saying
not.
is not true.
You are not.
What you're saying is not true.
No black American was
What you're saying
indigenous
is
to
not
America.
true.
No black
We
American was
proved over
indigenous to America.
that we proved. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. We've proven that over and over again. Yeah, you can't come in and redefine. Yeah, there were y'all foreigners hate that because y'all want all of us to have damn near an immigration story. The reality is there were black people who were indigenous to this land. And y'all lying about it don't change that, sir. You can lie till you're blue in the face. There's too much anthropological evidence, scientific evidence, DNA evidence, firsthand account evidence. I believe all of that over you, sir. Okay? You're muted. You muted yourself. I didn't mute you. You muted yourself. I don't hear you. There
Okay,
you go.
sorry about that. I believe that the truth is that wherever you all make up as a group, you can listen. You all can really be wherever you want to be, identify as wherever you want to identify as. Cool, but the truth remains that you and I know that black people are not indigenous to this land.
Yes, they are.
Period. They're not.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And you can't
Black people,
redefine that. Yes, they
black
are.
people all know
Yes,
that.
they are. There were black indigenous people here.
If they were,
There were. I'm going to mute you now because you're not going to talk over me. There were black indigenous people here, sir. You are a foreigner. You can't redefine anything. All right? Let's be very clear. Y'all have a thing where y'all want to control the narrative. You can't control the narrative, sir. It doesn't work like that. That's why we're delineating from people like you, sir, because y'all think you can come in our circles and try to tell us our history. You can't do that, sir. You're not at liberty. You're a foreigner. You don't even know who you are, to be honest. You don't know yourself. You understand? Turn your microphone on. You don't know who you are. We know who we are, sir.
Are you done talking?
Yeah.
Let's speak right now.
Now listen to me. What was your homeland called before the white people named it Nigeria?
Biafra.
No, it was not that area. No, it wasn't.
Biafra.
No, it wasn't.
I'm Igbo, so we are called Biafra.
No, because there was different parts. Part of that area was called Eredo.
The problem
Part of that area was called Eredo. You're talking about a tribe.
Hold on.
You're talking about a tribe.
I'm telling you what my people, what we are being called. We are being called Biafra. Yeah, before
You're talking about a tribe.
Nigeria. Nah, I wasn't talking about tribe. The tribe is Igbo. The problem, hold on. The problem with you all is that you sit in your comfort zone in America. You all don't go out to make research. Like people like you,
do.
You keep pushing narratives. That's the problem.
What narrative?
You keep pushing narrative to a lot of people in America because most of them, they stay in America. They don't even go out there.
Because we don't have to flee, sir.
Why do you?
We don't have to slow down because, sir, we're not refugees. We're not fleeing all over the place. We're not running around as permanent beggars, running to everybody's country, fleeing, sir. Yeah, what you're saying is not a flex. That's not a flex, sir, having to flee all over the place. It's not like you're some kind of worldly scholar. You're a refugee, sir. And a refugee can't tell people who stood on business for centuries in their homeland where they're indigenous to. You can't tell us anything about our culture.
America is a great country. We all know that, bro. You are not indigenous to America.
Yes, we are.
You can cry me a river.
Yeah,
you are
I'm
not
not crying
indigenous to
anything,
America.
sir.
Trust
I'm
me,
not crying anything. We are
It's
indigenous.
a great country here.
We are indigenous to the, sir. We are indigenous to the United States. Yes, we are. We had an ethnogenesis here. We are indigenous to the United. We are literally the foundation of the United States, sir. Not you, us. We are. And we stood on business, didn't flee. We fought, and we never made a treaty deal or plea deal. You did, sir. That's why you're down bad, right? Unmute your mic.
I literally don't remember the Constitution very well, but one of the amendments that was in Constitution for World to give you citizenship in America. How can you be indigenous to this land and still get citizenship in America? Like I'm from Nigeria, I'm original to Nigeria. I don't need somebody like I wake up and go get a passport. The amendment was for work. What amendment? Was it 24th Amendment or 4th Amendment? What it is? What was that all about? Tell me.
The 14th Amendment?
14th Amendment.
The 14th Amendment was a foundational Black American grassroots movement to let these people know they're not going to strip our citizenship away. We've always been citizens here.
So why are you guys contemplating us being like, what was the reason? If you're foundational to this land, this great, lovely land, America, if you're foundational to this land, why would the government, why were you deliberating on, if they are going to strip your passport or not? Tell me, if you're foundational to this land.
That's why we could vote going back to the 16 and 1700s. And on that, you couldn't vote unless you were a property owner and a citizen. So there's proof that we were already citizens here. They tried to strip that away. They tried to do some white supremacist nonsense, and we told them, no, you're going to make everything equal. That's what we do. Even with civil rights, we said, no, you're not going to have a white hierarchy on paper. You're going to make everything equal. Also with immigration here, because they didn't want y'all over here, by the way. They didn't want African immigrants coming over here at all. We said, no, you're going to make the immigration laws equal. So we are the ones who forced them to take that white supremacist nonsense off paper. That's what that was about, sir. It's called standing on business. You guys sat up here and signed treaties and let these folks colonize your asses over there in your homeland, and that's why it failed, and that's why you over here with us, right?
Bro, I left my country to this great country, America, which I respect every day of my life. You know why? Because the people that built this land, we are real African Americans, not you, not
We?
you, not
What is
you.
this we? You didn't build nothing here.
African Americans built
Okay,
this
no,
land.
no, 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 no,
Not
no,
me,
no, no,
not
no.
me.
We
I'm
nothing,
pure,
we
I'm
nothing,
pure
we
African.
nothing, we nothing,
I'm
we
pure
nothing, we nothing. See, no, I muted that ass. We nothing, we nothing. You didn't build shit. You didn't build nothing over here, sir. You're not of our culture. See, that's why they like us to do that African American thing so they can tether on to it. You see, that's why oh, y'all ain't indigenous. We did this. No, no, no. We nothing. We
Um,
nothing. You don't. No. You don't get to spin the block.
Tariq, listen, I gotta tell you something,
No,
man.
no, no. Hold
Much
on.
respect for you,
No,
much
no,
respect
no.
for
Hold
whatever you
on.
got going on.
No, because you ain't about to sit here lying. You don't get to do. Y'all not go. You are part of the people who sold us. Since you want to claim Africa, you want to go there. You're part of the tribes that sold us. So you don't get to spin the block talking about what you built. You sold some of us and left us for dead, sir. You don't get to spin the block and, ooh, look at what we did all this. We nothing. You hopped on an inner tube and came over here to what we built, sir. You didn't build nothing. You didn't build the culture
Why,
here. We did.
why were you? Why did you fly to Zimbabwe to go look for a land?
I didn't go fly. No,
You
they flew me there. They flew. I didn't go looking for land. They flew me out there to
oh,
do a
they flew
lecture.
you out there.
They
Bro, I
brought me
think
out
you're
there to
just a
do a
lost
lecture.
cause, bro.
They
I think
they
you're lost.
brought me out there to do a lecture and paid me, and I gave my money to the people there. By the way,
Bro, I think you're lost cause, right? You lost cause. I think you're for me,
who?
sorry, no disrespect, but I think you're just looking for fame. You're just trying to chase clouds. That's why you're doing all these things.
That's a
For
projection,
real.
sir.
I feel that's what you're
That's a
doing, bro.
projection,
I
sir.
feel that's what you're doing. And a
That's a
whole lot of people
projection. That's a projection,
I think you
sir. That's you. You're trying to tether onto us, sir. You're tethering onto us. You're trying to claim our history. I already got fame. I already got clout. I ain't got to chase nothing. Your country is a lost cause, sir. You called me. Let's be very clear. You notice we're not in African spaces whining and trying to tell them anything. We let you be. You always in our spaces whining to us, babbling and lying. Y'all stay in our spaces. Y'all stay in foundational Black American business, sir. We don't give a damn about what y'all doing, but y'all always in our business. Why is that?
Okay, let me answer you, right? My problem is I feel I don't take away from I don't want to take nothing away from people that want to be FBAs. But please don't sound like you're speaking for the whole African American, Derek. Or the whole African Americans, so many people, you are just few bunch like handful of people. Stop acting like
Okay, no, because
you're talking about African
again,
Americans.
we're not. We're
You're talking
40.
for everybody, bro.
No, sir. You can't redefine who we are. You don't have the clout to do that. Foundational Black Americans, that's 45 million people who are non-immigrants. We ain't no small group. If we're a small group, you wouldn't be so triggered. And y'all tethers wouldn't be so upset over the delineation movement. Yeah, y'all whine about us every damn day. Y'all got spaces on here, 20, 30 spaces every day, whining about foundational Black Americans. If it was a small thing, you wouldn't be so triggered, sir. We are different. And the delineation movement is kind of whooping on you. Why are y'all so triggered by the delineation movement, sir? Why does that bother you?
Nobody, no, listen, bro. I see when I walk out there, when I walk out there, I see a black person, I see them as my brothers and sisters. Listen, let me tell you something, right? Once you're putting all this projection, once you're pushing this narrative, you are intentionally breaking up the black community. And I feel like, bro, sorry, no disrespect, but I feel like you're being paid for that. Trust me. That's what I feel like, bro. I
That's
feel
a
like you're being paid
projection.
for all that shit, bro.
I feel
That's a
like you're being
projection,
paid to
sir.
tether. Stop tethering.
Yeah, that's a projection, sir. Hold on, principal. I get you in a minute. I get you. But Lloyd, that's called a projection, sir. What do we have going on with y'all that needs to be broken up or needs somebody to pay to break up? What y'all got going on with us?
Bro, listen, you all listen. One thing I know for a fact is that I'm African. I'm African. I came from the continent of Africa.
And you fled from there and
Listen,
came here with
I didn't
us.
flee. I didn't
Yes, you
flee, bro.
did. Yes,
I
you
didn't.
did.
I listen. We Africans, we travel. We love to travel.
It's called fleeing. You
No,
flee.
hold on, man. Hold on. Let me tell you something right quick. I can like if you go to South Africa, you're gonna see
Okay, okay, you
citizens. Hold
babbling.
on,
I don't want to hear babble. I asked you a question. What do you have going on that somebody has to pay somebody to break up? What you got going on?
bro. You are anti-Pan-Africanism.
Okay, yeah, I'm all that. Okay, now what do you
That's
have
what you
going
are.
on? Well, I'm all that.
You
What do you
couldn't
have
find,
going on?
bro.
What do you have going on that needs to be broken up?
Bro, we don't like we are Pan-Africanists. I'm a Pan-Africanist. We are
Okay,
all
as a
Africa.
Pan-Africanist, what you got going
Every
on?
black man,
What do you
we are
have
all
going
African.
on?
We
What do
have a
you have?
lot going on.
Like
What you talking
what?
about?
Like what needs to? What
The
do you have
same
going
reason,
on that
the
needs to be
same reason
infiltrated?
why you went to Zimbabwe begging for land. You're begging to stay in
I'm begging
Zimbabwe.
for land. Nobody
You
begging for no
beg for
damn land.
land. We all
Hold
know the
on, that's a
history, Tariq.
projection. You love projecting. I didn't go over there begging for no damn land. You came over here begging for citizenship in my shit.